Welcome to LettiSpeaks, where we turn pain into passion and find meaning through experience. Every day is a new day to find joy in the moment and live life abundantly. We speak and we listen and we don't take it lightly. Let's jump in and see what Spirit has to say. Hi, welcome to LettiSpeaks. And if you are new, hi, nice to meet you. Go ahead and subscribe. If you find that you like the content, you can also like, share, comment as well. All of that helps to grow my channel. I am so happy to have you stop by. If you're returning, welcome back. And tonight, I just want to get a feel for the energy. No particular topic. We're just going to see what the energy says, okay? There are also a couple of other ways that you can support if you like. Down in the description box, you are more than welcome to choose any of those options. And I do appreciate it. Thank you for your love in advance. Let's see. I'm going to jump right in, okay? Hope this evening is treating you well. So what is the energies this evening, Spirit? Trying out a new deck that I bought. This is the Tarot of Oppositions. And so it has both the light side and the shadow side. And so it should make the reading definitely more interesting. Tapping into different ways of the energy, right? I'm also using my regular Rider-Waite deck, the original tarot deck. Tonight for clarifications, I'm using my What's Hidden Oracle deck, and then I'll also be using my Tea Leaf Oracle cards as well, okay? So let's see what's happening out there tonight. For someone, you may be working on something this evening that takes lots of patience. You could have tried it a couple of times and you're adamant about doing it, and though it has not worked, you're going to do it again until you get the results that you want. And so you could be in a very persistent energy is a good word. A persistent energy tonight. Yeah, you are persistent in getting something done. With the results that you want. All right, what is the energy tonight, Spirit? What is the energy tonight for my viewers? Let's see. What is the energy tonight? So I have the Nine of Swords. Somebody's in anxious energy. Yeah. It's like very overwhelmed mentally. I guess it could be around this project that you're doing. It's just got you stressed out, right? That could be it. We'll go ahead and clarify that. I also have the Seven of Pentacles. Maybe stressed out about choices. Sometimes choices can be too much, you know. Something as simple as, okay, what are we having for dinner? Because there's like so many different places that you can go. It can be overwhelming. I'm getting that kind of energy, like being overwhelmed by your choices. Not only that, being impatient, right? not willing to wait for things to come into right perspective, but just wanting it right now, like microwaved food. And then the Nine of Pentacles, having a very materialistic view of things. And it's almost like the energy of placing materials at the highest value, even above people. What's going on this evening? Lots of shadow energy. So let's clarify some of these cards. Hopefully these, because we have nines out here, the Nine of Swords and the Nine of Pentacles, hopefully this is you coming out of this energy. Maybe there are lessons that you learned around this energy, and there is a temptation to step into that energy. But let's clarify. What is the Nine of Swords for my viewer here? Why is the Nine of Swords here? The Nine of Swords. Yeah. So I have the Hermit and the Death. So it's almost like there's something being transformed through this energy. You're being guided. I almost feel like Spirit is using this as a tool of transformation for you. Why is the Nine of Pentacles here? Let's see. Why is the Nine of Pentacles here? So we have liberty, we have justice, and the Seven of Cups. There's that Seven of Cups. It does feel a little bit like the energy of temptation. So you may not actually be operating in this energy, but you may be tempted to be a little impatient, you know, to be a little selfish and overbearing. But I do feel like there's a level of integrity that's balancing that out. It's balancing that out. And so these are definitely possible lessons that are coming in for you tonight. And if these are like energies that you've overcome in the past, you know how things come back around to test you, you know, it's like, ooh, if you're somebody that's quick to cut somebody off and you change that way about you, and then it comes back around and someone tests your gangster again, and you be tempted to cut them off or warm up your backhand and be like, it comes back around again just to see, did you really get healed from that? You know, it's almost like that kind of energy. Why is the Seven of Pentacles here in the shadow side? Why is the Seven of Pentacles here? King of Wands and the Chariot, overwhelmed with how you're going to move forward, choices, right? Like I was saying, having just too many choices, too many options. It's like, okay, what do I do? What do I want to do? I feel like you're overwhelmed with something. Why is Temperance here? Seven of Wands and the Queen of Swords. And you, on the other hand, it's like you feel like you know what you want. And is it that you're not seeing it? Or things aren't turning out the way that you wanted them to? Sometimes it takes a few times to get the right result, right? It doesn't always happen that first time. Sometimes it don't happen the second time. Sometimes it doesn't happen the third or the fourth or the fifth time. Sometimes it takes a while. So whatever it is that you're hasty about right now, it could be coming in as kind of a test for you, testing your patience, testing your willpower, your strength, testing your character too. Let's see. So what is this that's causing this level of anxiety? What's causing the anxiety? Let's take a look and see. What's causing the anxiety for my viewer spirit? What is this that's causing this anxiety or this issue tonight? I feel like it's something you're definitely doing. It could be something that you're trying to do, something different, move in a different direction or way. We have the Fool here, the Four of Cups, the Six of Pentacles, and the Two of Pentacles. Whatever this is, this could be something that you're juggling and maybe not being too successful because you dropped your pentacle. You're not connected with your pinnacle. You dropped it, right? Maybe it was going good for a while with the Six of Pentacles, but then the Two of Pentacles came and something didn't quite stick. Something that, but what is it though? I have the Fool that's in the shadow. What is this Fool in the shadow? The Sun and the Six of Pentacles. Let me see. What's the Fool in the shadow? Pulling out my new book. The Fool in the shadow. So whatever this is, you could have been led to move this way that may not have been, it may have felt right or felt good at first. I'm not sure if it's good because the shadow side of the Fool is like a sense of recklessness. It's not well thought out, or it's almost like being led to a slaughter by someone. Maybe someone pointed you in a direction that looks good and feels good in the beginning, but then at some point it was like, wait a minute, what is this? What just happened? And you didn't see this because you were so focused on yourself. With the Four of Cups, you were focused on yourself. So why is the Four of Cups here in the shadow side? What is this? Maybe you were just too independent here. Whatever this was, maybe not inviting of help. Maybe help, being more open to the help that was available would have been helpful for you. I have the Strength here and the Star. Yeah, I get very independent energy. You were possibly blocked off from receiving any guidance outside of yourself. And so I feel like this could be because I see lots of pentacles out here. It definitely could be something concerning work. With the pentacles, it could be something collaborative that you're working on, or you were working on with someone else possibly. Or it didn't have to be. It could be something you were working on by yourself. But what is this? It definitely feels like a venture. Like it definitely feels like you straying from what was familiar to try something new. That's what it feels like. Part of it also feels like there was a level of advice at somewhere along the line that could have been given, and you took it and ran with it. Yeah, Ace of Cups and the Magician. Yeah, you took it and ran with it, but something didn't quite pan out. Something didn't quite pan out. What is this Magician here? Queen of Wands. What were you creating? And the Judgment. What is this Ace of Cups here? Ten of Cups, Seven of Pentacles, Six of Cups, and the Moon. I get a little bit of practitioner energy with the Moon and the Seven of Pentacles. It's work, but it could be like some type of mysticism or practitioner work. The Queen of Wands and the Judgment. What is this, Spirit? What type of work is this? What is this, Spirit? Definitely have something to do with money. You were doing it independently. At some level, you were doing it independently, or you are doing it independently. And the Wheel of Fortune. Possibly working with the elements. I'm not sure what this is. I just have guesstimates. So what do you need to do? What does my viewer need to do here? What is the advice? So I have the Hermit in the shadow side, the Sun in the shadow side, the Three of Swords in the shadow side, and the Two of Swords. I almost get the energy of needing to start again. Like Spirit is asking you to scratch it and start again. Is that what you're saying? Because the Hermit is like the counseling or the advice that you got may have been bad advice, whatever this is that you're trying to do or that you are intently focused on. Yeah. I almost get the energy of needing to recalculate or recalibrate. Your destination. I need to recalibrate. I also got the shadow side of the sun. Whatever this is, it's not going the way that you had hoped. That's what all this frustration is about, I feel. You could be gritting your teeth, right? Because things are just that irritating right now. Nothing seems to be going right. And you may need to just take a moment instead of jumping into something new, which is the energy I got even for this. It feels like there wasn't a lot of thought. You just kind of jumped into it. And this could have been on the account of some type of advice that you received. And it wasn't good advice. But you've exhausted yourself to the point now with the sun here. It's like, okay, there may be a need to kind of regain your energy here, regain your composure, right? Yeah. And then I have the Five of Swords in the shadow side as well. That almost feels like the energy of defeat. Or not even the energy of defeat, because it says the war is not over and you still have to deal with the enemy. The most difficult opponent is yourself. You will to win at all cost and not to consider peace as the obvious solution. Then it says, be prepared to be wounded, disappointed, or defeated by those who keep their cool and know how to dominate. Yeah. And so the advice, I feel like both the Two of Swords and the Five of Swords talks about wanting to win at all costs, even if it means being dishonest to an extent, or being, willing to do whatever it takes, forgetting about integrity and justice, right? Just being willing to do whatever you need to do. You see that? It's almost like he is lamenting over a decision that may have led to, someone's downfall, right? Overall, I feel like the foundation of this was wrong. And it could be because of the advice that was given here. Give me 1 second. Okay, I want to know what the lesson is being learned here. What is the lesson being learned here, Spirit? It seems bad, but it doesn't really feel terrible. It just feels like sometimes a blocked door, is redirection. And you don't realize it until later that had you been given entrance to where it is you were trying to go, the pain of ending up there would have been much greater than the disappointment of being blocked. That's what it feels like. So overall, it's not a bad reading. It feels like you are being redirected. What is the lesson here? And you may be thankful later on when you realize this. What is the lesson here? So we have the Eight of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles, both shadow side. So with the Queen of Pentacles is usually very positive, supportive, and nourishing. In the shadow side, it's a lack of the abundance, right? Not that you're not in that energy, but you can't do that forever the way that you're going, right? It's almost like for someone who just does everything for everyone and never does anything for self. You can only do that for so long before you go bankrupt, right? It's almost like the replenishment is not there. So going at that rate, doing for others and not replenishing yourself, you're going to run out, right? So the lesson in that could be to use your energy more wisely, or your resources. To manage love, life, friendships, connections more wisely, especially money. Yeah. So that's one of the lessons. And then we have the Eight of Pentacles in reverse, or the shadow side, which talks about the same thing, a heavy expenditure of energy and time. It's a period where there is just like an over exertion of resources and energy and time. And hope. Like, you could be pouring your hope into something, but really understanding behind all of that hope, you're like, this is really not going to work, but I'm just going to go for it, right? It's almost like going for something that you already know is not going to work. And it's redirecting. It's redirecting. And that's the lesson here. For someone, there is like a mismanagement of resources of some kind, whether that's energy, intent, right? I get that as well. I don't know why I'm hearing it's almost like being somewhere where you know good and darn well that you're not supposed to be there, but you're there anyway. And I have the Empress on the bottom. This could have something to do with an Empress. Yeah, whatever this is wearing you out. See, he wore out. He's wore out from all of the exertion that's required for this, whatever this is. And for someone, I'm hearing advice from an older man. But it wasn't good advice. Yeah, it wasn't good advice. Three of Pentacles. Look at that room. Toe up, hole in the wall, statue fell. Things are like falling apart at an alarming rate, including your connections. It wasn't good advice. Three of Pentacles is work energy. And I almost feel like for whoever this is, there could be an audience as well. There could be lots of people looking and watching this happen. With the Five of Wands, lots of contention and scattered energy. This is not good. Six of Swords on the bottom. So either you're going to end up shipwrecked if you keep going in this direction, or you're going to move away as you are being guided to calmer ground, to peaceful ground, where you'll have an opportunity to rethink and actually create a different outcome. Give me more energy on this, Spirit. Somebody's name could be April. Whatever needs to be done to rectify actually needs to be done like now. It's time to do it now. Like you don't have time to think on the right thing to do. I feel like if you know what needs to be done, it needs to be done like immediately. And if that's turning around, that needs to be done, because on the other side are the opportunities waiting for you. If you turn that around, opportunities to increase material wealth and spiritual growth. People may in fact be disappointed in the decisions that you make, but that's not your problem. You may end up being the person that they're disappointed in when you change your mind. But again, that's not your problem. Depending on how long it took you or how long you've traveled in this direction, it could depend on how long it'll take to undo or to backtrack, right? But it'll be worth it. With camel here, it's saying to be willing to persevere and overcome the problems that are being experienced right now. That with heart, there's great happiness that is available or that's possible. Yeah. But for someone here, there is this possibly could be the energy that you're in right now, feeling like not your best, right? But it's short term. It's short term. It's almost like a lesson to let you know like that you're headed in the wrong direction, that you need to turn around. And Spirit could also be giving you signs letting you know that you are protected, that you're being taken care of, even in this certain circumstance. Also be aware of puffed up ego for someone. Spirit is saying be aware of pride, the type of pride that would cause you to be puffed up, right, in your ego. But for whoever I'm talking to, like with the star here, there's something that you are going to do that's going to be successful. But Spirit is making it very plain that this ain't it. Whatever you're headed towards right now is not it. But there is the opportunity for success for you. All right, I want to see what your future energy is. Let's see what's going to happen here. What's the future energy in this situation for my viewer? What is the future energy? All right, so we have the Ten of Cups and the Lovers, which is in the shadow side. But then we have the Queen of Wands, the High Priestess in the shadow side, and the Three of Cups in the light side. So with the Ten of Cups and the Lovers, I feel like there will be like a level of disappointment with those who may be closest to you as it pertains to those who may be benefiting from the direction that you're going. It could be a lover, it could be a family member. There is a level of contention there in the future energy. Why is this contention with the family or lovers? The Queen of Wands talks about, and it's in the light side, so it's moving forward confidently, like doing what feels right for you, right? It's doing what feels right for you. And then the High Priestess is actually in the shadow side. And so why is that? Let me see. It's almost like separating yourself, distancing yourself from everyone around you. Three of Cups. distancing yourself from those closest to you. Pulling your energy back. But it could be with good cause, because with the Lovers here, that separation, it's on the shadow side. It's almost like she's handing him the apple. And we know what the apple represents, right? And so I feel like there could be those around you, again, that don't really have your best interest at heart, right? It's almost like being surrounded by people who say they care for you or they're on your side, but at the same time, it's a very shallow declaration. With the Lovers here, that dictates some type of connection or possibly a shallow love, or maybe there's something that they're benefiting from you being in this position. The apple being handed, right, is something that is representative of something that will be poison to him, right? And so pulling back may be a good idea in the future, and maybe you'll recognize this. Like the information, the advice, you'll come to recognize that maybe this was not actually as good of advice as I thought it was. The Queen of Wands takes her sword and she moves forward in a way that is beneficial for her. And the Queen, it is feminine in description, but it doesn't have to be a woman. It doesn't have to be a woman. And it doesn't mean that you'll separate yourself forever, because I do see the Three of Cups here, which means there is a level of connection with those closest to you. Maybe you will have a secure, tight-knit group that'll move forward with you. Not a lot. 3 is not a large number. That's a very small, selective number, right? This is your future energy. I feel like there's going to be a realization of something that maybe was perceived as something beneficial, but actually wasn't. And you're going to see that. Because of that, you're going to pull away from certain individuals and start moving in a way that's personally beneficial for you. And with a selective few. And I don't know why I'm getting the energy of someone who gets off on seeing other people do dirt, right? Someone who has lived that life and done their share, now they get off on seeing other people come along and do what they've done, and they're entertained by it. And they may very well know that it's not going to work or that it's not going to be beneficial, but they get off on the entertainment of it, of seeing it being done. Which is really sad, because I did a previous reading where the energies came out where Spirit was leading someone to talk to their elders, right? Because the elders are supposed to be a source of wisdom. The elders are supposed to represent a resource to those younger than them, because they've gone the way before us, right? And so they can actually be a guide, a lighthouse, for us. But in this case, it's almost like there's an older, and I got specifically an older man that is giving bad advice on purpose. The hermit, the shadow side of the hermit, is an older man whispering bad advice on purpose, knowing that it's bad advice. I'll tell you. Okay, let's see. What is the advice? What is the advice for my viewer moving forward here? What is the advice for my viewer here? We got the Ace of Swords and the Wheel of Fortune. So it's almost like there is a new beginning coming in for you. A new beginning being given to you. The Wheel talks about things turning in your favor. An opportunity to start again. That's being given to you. I have the Empress here. And so all you have to do is receive it. This star. All you have to do is receive it. And so, you know, there is two parts of this. You know, there's a part of this where there is the energy of manipulation on some level. But at the same time, there's also the energy of having to be responsible, right? Many of us are manipulated to a certain point, but at the end of the day, we still have to be responsible for the decisions that we made and for the advice that we took, even if it wasn't good advice, right? But Spirit is actually coming in, bringing in opportunity, right? Upon understanding the truth, right? Having the ability to make a different decision, to accept this new beginning when the winds change, right? And they will. They always do. Those tables always turn, don't they? The Emperor and the shadow side is in the advice. What else, Spirit? And the Three of Swords in the light. Let's get one more for the advice. And the Five of Pentacles. So why is the Emperor in the shadow side in the advice? Let's see. And so the shadow side talks about a tyrannical energy. So the advice is, if you are in a position where you have power like that, don't reign it over people, right? Now's the time to be graceful, right? Just the same as the grace that you're expecting to come in for yourself. Now's the time to give that kind of consideration and energy. And this talks about being able to take good advice when it's given. Good advice, not closing a deaf ear to it when it comes through. Because if you're not, you run the chance of losing your seat, is what it's saying. And so you're being asked to be compassionate and consider wisdom instead of domination and violence. And so I could be talking to someone who actually is possibly in a leadership position. For some of you. And then for the Seven of Swords, yeah, it's all talking about strategy, right? The time will come, or it has come, for the opportunity to escape unfavorable conditions or situations. Possibly relieving or releasing some type of grievance that could be being held onto, that may be keeping someone from growing. It's almost like the energy of releasing grudges. But instead of holding on grudges, taking the opportunity to actually move appropriately, move forward appropriately. Because you can't do the same, that you can't do both at the same time. Either you're holding on to grievances and grudges, or you're taking care and moving forward to get out of the situation that you're in, possibly. And then we have the Five of Pentacles in the upright. And I feel like that's definitely talking about a change of mindset. Changing how you think about the physical reality. That could be materials, that could be money, that could even be health. Things that's in the 3D, right? The fives talk about a change. It's calling you to change how you think about materials, materialism, money, health, life, the physical realm. There's some change that's coming in or being welcomed in for you. And you're being asked to take it. Leave behind negative emotions and sorrows so that the normalcy can return quickly. And don't be stingy, is what Spirit is saying too. Like if someone is in need and they ask for help, give it to them. And on the bottom, we have the Hierophant and the Strength and the Star. So this is somebody that actually, definitely somebody in leadership, somebody that actually has the potential to guide people, even spiritually. You have that kind of influence with the Strength. Even though you're in a position where things may feel locked, right? It may make you feel like you have lost strength in some type of way. That's not necessarily the truth of it, right? You're being guided through this. It's almost like Spirit is guiding you through this as some type of lesson or deepening, right? I do get the energy of something spiritual here, especially with that Hierophant. People are coming to you for something. And you have the ability to influence them one way or the other. With great responsibility, with great power comes great responsibility, is what I'm hearing for this. And so this whole situation may very well be, just something to help you out here. Get back on track. That Hierophant changes everything. That means there's something that you definitely have been given to do. There's something that you're supposed to be doing. And that may be why there's such a sense of closed doors where we started here on this reading. Someone's in their south node when you're supposed to be in your north node. You're actually supposed to be growing, stepping out, experiencing things, but challenging yourself, challenging the way that you think, challenging what you know and what you are capable of. So that's what I'm getting this evening. Very interesting reading. Let me see. Anything else, Spirit? Anything else? I always tap into the interesting energies. Again, as I said when I started this reading, whoever this is for, it seems frustrating, but you're going to be so happy that you were blocked from this, right? You're going to be so happy that you were blocked from this. Because for whoever this is, I feel like you're supposed to be in a whole different place. You're supposed to be in a whole different place. And so this is like a purposeful interruption. With the opportunity to correct course, okay? So that's what I'm getting this evening. Thank you for stopping by. Again, if this is your first time, hit that subscribe button if you are resonating with the reading. If you didn't resonate, no worries, right? There's others that you can go back and watch. Some of them are timeless. Usually I'll say them in the reading, and I do feel like this one is timeless. So whenever you come across this reading, if it's resonating, there's no time limit on this. It's timeless. It could very well resonate today, and if you stop by a year from when I recorded this, it could very well resonate for you. It's timeless. And so if it doesn't resonate, no worries. Other readings are going to come, okay? In addition to readings, I do personal readings. And so if you are interested and want to tap in, hit me up, click on my calendar. You should be able to go in if there's available slots and schedule a time to book with me. Also, I am doing teaching about chakras as well. And so there is a 7-episode chakra / mantra meditation series that's on my page as well. If you are interested, go check that out as well. Lots of good things going on here on the page. And so if you are interested, go ahead and hit the bell so that you can be reminded whenever I post a video. It'll send you a little reminder or a little notification when something new has been posted, okay? All right, you guys, have a wonderful evening. Thank you for stopping by, allowing me to read you, or read for you, rather. Until next time, bye. It's LettiSpeaks.